So good morning. It's October 11th, and today I'm leaving Finisterre, heading for Muxia. Because of the amount of time I still have left before my flight back, I will be making it a 2-day hike. It's only 29K, but I'll stop in Lires for the night and then move on from there. So it's just about 9 a.m., a couple minutes before I'm getting ready to head out, and that'll be my start time. Beautiful morning out here, fog coming over the, well, just up against the mountains over there. But you can see the windmills coming out up top. This has been a beautiful town. I've been here for 2 days, not hiking. Almost everybody that's kind of in my bubble that I met along the way, almost everybody is gone now. So I'm not really expecting to see anybody that I know. All right, you walk out of Finisterre the same way that you came in, and then as soon as I leave the main part of town here, the road will split off and go farther west towards Muxia. All right, there's your sunrise pic this morning. It's a little late because of that mountain over there, so it takes a while longer than normal sunrise to get up over that peak. Absolutely beautiful. Fishing boats all out there. I think I might have actually showed you this area yesterday and told you that there would be good snorkeling out here. But yesterday when we were here, I think it was high tide, and those rocks were just barely, some of them just barely visible. And now it's low tide, I believe, and you can see all these rocks exposed. Well, saying goodbye to Finisterre is hard. I don't know if I'll ever be back here again, but I sure would love to be. It was a beautiful place. I'm climbing up the hill behind Finisterre. You can actually see part of the beach there on the left-hand side. But look at those clouds. They look like giant waves crashing over the mountaintops. It's really neat looking. Well, if you've got to be a donkey, this is probably the one to be. He's got one of the best donkey views in the world. Here's a shot looking actually south, and that's the town of Finisterre on the farthest, the highest point ahead. And then the lighthouse is beyond that hill behind it. And this is the bay on the east side. And over that hill, but before the big hill there, like in the little gap there, that goes down towards where the West Beach is and the Atlantic side of the peninsula. This is the trail out. I didn't really eat anything this morning. I had 2 cups of coffee. I had a salad for dinner last night, so I don't expect to have availability of any food until I get all the way through till there is 15K, 9 miles. Just not the end of the world, but I'm starving. And what do I find in my backpack pocket except candy that I think Sam gave me? Sam gave me a few days ago, and I stuffed in one of my backpack pockets. So you're saving me again, Sam. You saved me with the hat, and without even knowing it, you're saving me with this candy. Right? I am definitely not going to try to pronounce the name of this small town. All right, I'll do the second part. De Arriba. All right, there will be nothing but small towns on this route today. I don't have anywhere to stay when I get there, by the way. There's supposed to be 3 or 4 casserolls, which are like, I don't know, I guess like a Airbnb or like a bed and breakfast. And according to my wife's program app, there is one albergue there, but my wife's program misses a lot of places, so it's not real good in that respect. Next town, next donkey. All right, so this town does have a little bar over here. I'm not sure what their hours are, but wife's program out once again told me no services, but there's a bar there. All right, after you get to San Salvador, you're off the road and on a trail going out into the woods or farmland. I'm just about an hour into the hike, and as you saw, I had gorgeous views leaving Finisterre, and an hour in, I'm starting to get ocean views of the Atlantic again on the other side. So I'm moving in a north-northwest type direction on this trail for the most part. And yeah, so the views are just starting of the Atlantic. I expect I'll have a lot of them from here on out. All right, so it looks like some sort of place for peregrinos here. Let's check it out. All right, it's a place by donation. Yeah, lumber mill along the Camino. All right, I'm shooting through a pine forest out at the ocean. I think that my autofocus is not really going to know what to focus on, so I'll try to get it out there. I've been able to hear the ocean almost the whole time, but I haven't had that many views yet. All right, looks like we're heading down this road to the right, through that village there, getting closer and closer to the sea. Supposedly there's an alternate route where you can come off of the Camino onto the alternate and go right along the coast, and it's supposedly marked by red arrows, but some people are saying they can't find the red arrows. Other people are saying they're not in the town where the Wise Pilgrim map says they are. They're in the next town. So if I can find it, I'm going to take that route. This is looking back the direction I came from, over that hill there, not the highest part, but through those small towns. I'm climbing the hill now, that's why I'm a little out of breath. I do see some paths coming off to my left, off of the Camino towards the coast, but none of them are marked with those red arrows, so I just don't want to walk down some unmarked trail. So I don't really know where it's going, so hopefully it's still ahead. All right, so I really want to get that coastal route. I see this sign up here. It says for a bar, Playa Lires, and it points up this trail going to the left. But this is where the Camino actually goes. So I think I'm going to try it. Actually, I'm going to walk down here another half a click, and then if I don't see the red arrows, I'm going to come back and take that other route, because over here on these rocks, there are some markings. Like this is an arrow with an M. It would mean towards Muxia, but it's definitely not the main Camino. And there is definitely a rock here pointing up this way too. So I'm going to walk down the main Camino for just a short distance and see if I see those red arrows. If I don't, I'm going to come back and take this path. I can always come back. I got plenty of time today. Right, so I did walk ahead on the Camino, maybe 200 yards more. I didn't see any markings. So I'm going to go back and take that alternate. If this winds up being a good route, this is what you're looking for, these two markers, along with this over here, and that sign up says Bar Playa Lires. All right, so I took that alternate, and there were no red arrows up there, but there was just a bar sign, really. But now I'm down the trailways, and there is red arrows. So I think I'm on the right coastal route that I wanted to take. See, that looks like what's left of red arrows, but you can see it's been a long time since the marking was put on there. But I do keep seeing these red rocks along the way, or red dots on rocks along the way too. Ran into this little guy along the way. Now I see actually a yellow arrow ahead, so pretty confident I'm on a alternate route that's going to take me where I want to go. By the way, I can recap the hike now. You know, it's going to be 15K, and it's an easy day. I mean, 15K after all the walking I've done now just seems like a stroll in the park. But that is something to mention. If I were to come again, I would get one of those fancy Garmin watches that a lot of hikers have. It gives me everything from heart rate to calories burned. I think they're pretty cool. And they would give me a GPS exact distance that I walked. Because like my wife's Pilgrim app says, St. Jean is 767 kilometers from Santiago de Compostela. However, I read a lot of other people's apps, and what it says on my distance certificate is 780 kilometers. So there's some discrepancy. Not that it should make a big difference, like 10 or 15 kilometers over the course of, you know, almost 800. But I would like to have had that Garmin watch thing. Getting close to the sea now, maybe a quarter mile. All right, so this looks like my path. I haven't seen anybody on this path until just now. I see a pilgrim maybe a quarter mile, oh, a few of them, a quarter mile ahead of me walking the opposite direction though. But really good views. Going the other way, I would have been far to my right, and there's all forest there, so I wouldn't have had any good views up there. So I'm really glad I did come this way. And I think that's my destination town right up there, in that little bay. There is another trail that comes off of this alternate, looks like it goes down to that beach, but and you can see they got some markings here on the edge to tell people if you're going the opposite direction, it's made a Finisterre to go that way, and the green goes down to the beach, I guess. It went right in that little hole there. All right, this is what I want right here. Camper van. I really want one. Bike racks on the back. Stay down here for a week. That is one really nice beach. Oh, it looks like this guy might be claiming down here. I'm not sure. Trying to dig something out. That was a river. It looks like it's flowing out there. It wasn't just a spot where the surf was washing in, so I guess I'm gonna have to go up and around it. It looks like it's a little bit too deep to wade across, so. All right, so far I don't see any way across. It looks like it might be real shallow down where those birds are. We're at the mouth of where it turns that lake area, or bottom of the river there, turns to come in here. Let me take a look. All right, so I think that is shallow enough for me to walk across if I took off my shoes and socks there. Problem is, I'd have to get through all these bushes and stickers and everything to get down there. So that's not a good option. I don't want to go up, my legs all tore up. Can you see all those fish? All right, so remember when I said that next town up there across the water was my destination? I was wrong. I had already actually passed Lires and just had to follow this path around. It's going right back up to it. So I actually have kind of passed it, and I'm doubling back to it. But it was such a scenic walk that I don't mind. And by the way, all those marks you see out in the water, that's all fish. I assume they're catfish trying to breathe or something. That's all fish out there, just a ton of them. All right, so there's my destination town, Lires. And I said this was a 15K hike, and that's if I had stayed on the Camino trail instead of taking this alternate, which has definitely made it quite a bit longer. But you know, I have no way to measure it. Once again, wish I had that Garmin watch. So it is what it is. I will find a place to stay here. If I can't, for some reason, then I will not continue hiking today. I'll just take a cab back to Finisterre and then take a cab back here tomorrow and finish my hike to Muxia. But I think I'll find a place. Here's where I finally crossed that river, going into the town of Lires. Hey, don't forget, this is right along the Camino. I've rejoined up with the main Camino. Don't forget you need to get a stamp here if you want to get a certificate for your Muxia. Yeah, everything you need right there. Little place to donate if you want to give them a little bit of change. This is my room for the night. Own bathroom, room, 25 euros. This is in the town of Lires. I think it's called Casa Divina, but I'll show you the outside where the name is in just a minute because I was looking at a couple of them. I think that was this one. And she's got all the rooms up here as well. With and without bathrooms, and it's different prices. Kitchen, washer. I think if you share this bathroom, maybe it's less. I just took the one with the bathroom. So there you have it. This is the place I took. I do have a little balcony up there that I can use, but that's common area, of course. And there is another one right here. This was Casa Larido, I think, and Casa Raul was just around the corner. They all look fairly decent from the outside. Yes, I guess the D has fell off the one side. It's Ivina, but it should be Divina. I'd say less than 50 meters up the street is the bar. So that's where I'm headed now for a beer and maybe something to eat since I haven't eaten yet today. All right, this is the view off the little deck at the bar. Looking back at the lake where I just walked around. Or not, it's actually a river. Lires is actually quite a bit larger than what the Wise Pilgrim app was leading me to believe, that there was only a couple places to stay, and there's a ton of places to stay here. So, lots of bars and stuff. I mean, it led me to believe there was like one bar and a couple of Casa Royales, but there's a bunch. So, don't worry about a place to stay when you get here. There are a bunch. I'm not sure how many of them are on booking.com or anything, but there's a lot of places. So I'm in the backyard of the guest house where I'm at, Casa Divina. This is the first place I've seen them. They have a lot of flies, by the way, all along the Camino. This is the first place I've seen them use these, like we have them. Sometimes you'll see them in bars in the States. First place I've seen them here, though. It keeps the flies away. It screws up their vision or something. They have a ton of fruit back here, and they said, just help myself. It's all edible, and they have a bunch on the table. It's a lime tree right here. I think it's a lime tree. That's what it looks like to me.